When I got fired from Walmart, I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie about it. I was pissed. I was so mad because after all my years being just an AP alone, I have seen so many people break policy that was in upper management or higher, district managers, store managers, um, co-managers, assistant managers get away with dirt and keep getting away with it and firing witnesses and firing people that they didn't like for personal reasons, not for business reasons. And I seen so much. I seen how management created a hostile work environment for all the hourly associates, including myself. Talk down on us, talk bad about us to other managers. You feel me? And to have somebody come into my store who didn't know the area and to be on this high horse kind of set me off after he fired me. And what's crazy is that regional and district managers gave him left the decision to him on whether to keep me or to let me go. Now, at the time this all happened, I'm number one in the district, region, the market. I'm training incoming APAs, lots of responsibility. Um, got a system going on at my store to where we're fighting theft on an everyday basis. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was better than it has been. So we were making a lot of progress. But anyway, I was pissed off because I had done so much for the company. I had not only running markets, districts, and regions, I was traveling to other stores to help them do their job, help their APAs catch people that they couldn't catch. You feel what I'm saying? So what they did was when they needed somebody to be caught, they called me. If an APA at another store claimed that there wasn't no theft going on, but yet the theft report says otherwise, they sent me over there to go investigate. And what I mean investigate, they tell me to go somewhere. I go to that store and I catch shoplifters. And if I can catch at least one shoplifter, then they know that there's something in there. You feel me? So like I had done so much for the company, and for them to just let me go easily like that just set me off. I mean, it was the last straw. I've been in retail since 2008. I didn't get into AP until 2014. So I had a lot of retail experience to back me up going into this AP role. But after that motherfucker fired me because they left the decision to him on whether to keep me or to fire me. And he told me to my face with a sad face, I'm gonna have to let you go. With a smirk, with a smirk. You feel me? It's the little details for me. You feel me? Like I could tell he like, cause me and him been going back at it for a long time. And I told y'all about this and why I got fired from Walmart video. Me and him never really seen eye to eye. So this motherfucker was trying to find reasons to get rid of me. He couldn't get me on performance. He showing the hell couldn't get me on attendance. So when I got that bad apprehension, Um, that was the perfect situation for him to use to get me out of there. But that was the last straw for me. So I left, and I had a lot of time to think. And as I'm thinking over the last years of me being in retail, since the day that I started, leading up till that day I got fired as an asset protection associate, I just kept thinking about how management was always treating us unfairly, how blacks was being treated unfairly in the workplace, how they was always degrading us, talking down on us, you know what I mean, and just kind of just treating us like shit. I mean, Walmart has always been known as the corporation that does not know how to treat their associates. And so everybody else does the same thing. You hear customers all the time tell us how much money we don't make, or you work at Walmart, shut up. You know what I mean? Shit like that. They degrade us. So I had to come up with a solution. I couldn't just let this go. I'm a very stubborn person. And, some things I'll let go. But this one, particularly, like, my nigga senses were going off, number one. And so when my nigga senses go off, I have to follow because my nigga senses are telling me that something is there that needs to be investigated, that needs to be, observed. So I took some time off. I did some landscaping. And during that time, while I was doing this landscaping job, I said, man, fuck this. There's no way I'm letting them get away with this. For all the work that us hourly associates put in on an everyday basis, for all the times that these niggas come at us sideways, talk down to us, talk bad about us, retaliate against us, create a hostile environment. You feel what I'm saying? All the shit that they've ever done to us hourly associates, it was time to do to them. And when I say do to them, I don't mean physical harm. I mean beating them at their own game. I mean using that policy that they use against us against them. I just had to figure out how I was going to do it. And learning what I've learned throughout the AP experience, I kind of knew where I was going to start. You know what I'm saying? I just had to put it all together. So I said, all right, I'm going back to AP. But this time I'm not going back to be number one. I'm not going back to, you know, be really AP. I'm gonna go do AP. That's gonna be my diversion. But what I'm doing behind closed doors is I'm really setting the corporation up for failure. And what I want to know is when they do something wrong, will they lie about it or will they hold themselves accountable? Right? And I knew the answer to that question, but always give motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. That's just what I do. Um, and so I said, okay, bet. I'm gonna go back into AP and I'm gonna set them up, and then we're gonna take it from there. So I fill out an application for Target. I get a call back from Target, and the store that I applied for was in Aurora. I got a call from Thornton. That was none of the stores that I picked. I didn't pick none of them stores. Thornton, all them suburb type stores, I didn't want them. You feel me? But I got a call from the Thornton location. I was like, fuck it. I'm all about opportunity, so I take it. Got the job offer, and I was like, it's game time. You know what I mean? Target's on the list. And honestly, Target ain't got really shit to do with this, but I know they just as dirty as the motherfucking Walmart Corporation is. You feel me? I know they just as dirty. All of them got some type of dirt that they do. You know what I mean? Like these motherfuckers done this shit so long that after a while they start to get clumsy with it. They start to get a little messy because they're so comfortable with getting used or getting away with it that they know that us hourly associates ain't gonna fight. You know, we just gonna say fuck it and go find another job somewhere else. We're not gonna really fight them that the way that they need to be fought against. So I start this shit at Target, you know, and I'm doing my thing. I'm learning their rules, the do's and the don'ts. And as I'm learning that system, the AP directives, I'm also observing my surroundings. I'm observing who is who, what position they in, who's breaking policy, and how are they breaking policy. I'm looking for that shit because I'm coming, and I'm coming hard. I'm coming hard. Like I said, Walmart, they took the last straw, so I'm here on business. And AP, me doing AP catching shoplifters is just a diversion to keep management and the store team lead off my ass. Because as long as they see me making apprehensions, they not gonna think twice about what the fuck I'm doing behind closed doors. So as I'm learning the system, I'm making apprehensions. I'm observing the whole store. I'm observing everybody, the back room, the sales floor, the front end, Starbucks, electronics, all of them. So I get everybody. I'm like, all right, bet. This is this person. This is okay. This is the title that they hold. Now all I need to do is just put it all together. Who's breaking policy? How they breaking policy? And I'm jotting everything down. I'm jotting everything down. Right. So one thing that I noticed was that everybody fucking everybody in that bitch. Everybody fucking everybody in that bitch. So I was like, bet. That's where I'm gonna start right there. Everybody in here fucking everybody. Let's see what happens when I do it. I already knew what the fuck was gonna happen. But let's just see how this play out. Because that's where I'm gonna start. Mind you, I'm the only black male in the whole entire store. Now, that doesn't prove anything, but that doesn't look good to a corporation that says that they're all about equality, right? Because I didn't see no type of equality in that bitch. But anyway, I was the only nigga in the store. You feel me? And I start with that. I'm like, all right, everybody fucking everybody. Let me dabble. Let me see what happens. So I get into a relationship. You already know about that. So I ain't gonna beat the dead horse. So fast forward to when I get fired. I'm like, all right, at this point, I'm already what, maybe a year in, maybe a little over a year in, maybe. And at this point, I've got shit on top of shit. Like I got information on top of information. Like I got people names, I got what they doing, I got who's doing what. I got people that's breaking policy on this level. You know what I mean? Like I got everything I need to build a case on these motherfuckers. The only thing I didn't have at the time was an exit plan. You feel me? And I couldn't quit because that wouldn't make my case look good. I have to get fired, but I can't do it intentionally. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So I didn't have no exit plan. So I'm like, fuck, all right, I got everything I need to build a case on these motherfuckers, but I just don't have an exit plan on how I'm gonna get out of here. You feel what I'm saying? So that's when me and the ex, we get into it. I send her a long list of text messages that she did not like, and boom, voila, there it was right there, my exit plan. She did her job. She went back, told HR. I came back from vacation that following Tuesday, and they terminated me for dating another team lead. Now, that's what they told me. Now they told the EOC that they terminated me because of workplace violence. Anybody that knows me know that don't even fit my MO. Unless we talking about a shoplifter, then okay, maybe. But come on, another team member, another associate. So I got my exit plan. I get fired. I'm like, boom. That was it right there. That's all I needed. That's all I needed to kick this shit off. So after they fire me, I go back to the crib. I'm thinking about everything that I got, all the information that I got, any documentation that I got that I could use that would help this case. And I'm putting everything together. And I start reading up on laws for some reason. My gut was just like, you need to dig more into this, more into discrimination, retaliation, hostile environments, harassment. Like, really read and comprehend the definitions of what these words really mean and how every word has its own meaning and how it works in the workplace and how management uses it to it to its advantage to get rid of motherfuckers. So I go online. I'm like, fuck it. First thing I hit was like the federal laws of 1964, and I'm reading through that bitch. Retaliation, how it works. Hostile environment, how it works. Definitions. Discrimination, race discrimination. I'm like, reading through this shit, right? And as I'm reading through all this shit, I get pissed off because everything that I'm reading is everything that me and my fellow employees have been experiencing for a very long time. Everything that they said was discrimination, retaliation, hostile environment, harassment. Somebody was going through in the workplace that I knew if I didn't experience it myself. I knew somebody who had experienced that. So I'm reading this shit and I get more pissed off. Like, what? This shit is illegal on a federal level? And they still doing this shit? They've been doing this shit. So I'm like, all right, bet. So that woke me up. I'm woke. I'm like, all right, it's game time now. You motherfuckers really crossed the line. Like, you mean to tell me this shit is illegal on a federal basis and you niggas is getting away with it? So as an AP, that's a red flag to me. Like, how the fuck are y'all getting away with this shit? Bet. Don't even trip. I'm on it. I'm on it. So I'm reading more. I read more. I read more. And I finally came to the decision. I'm like, bet. I'm about to hit their ass where it hurt. Race discrimination, period. I got everything that I need to prove it. Descriptive information. I got everything they need on the silver platter. I gave to them everything that the EEOC needed to charge these motherfuckers with race discrimination. I gave to them on the silver motherfucking platter, and they still couldn't make a decision. And it wasn't that they couldn't make a decision. It was just more like, we ain't trying to get involved. Here's your right to sue letter. Good luck. So they didn't say it didn't happen, and they didn't say that it did happen. They was just pretty much like, hey, look, we don't want no parts of this shit. It's COVID. The world's locked down. The world shut down. Look, y'all have at it. That's pretty much what the EEOC told me. I was on my own and gave me a right to sue letter. You feel me? So I'm like, bet. So I get the ball rolling on that. Follow race discrimination case. Write my statement. Target reads it. They send 7 pages of bullshit back 7 pages of bullshit back to the EOC on the real reason why they fired me. And I'm telling you, just lies, lies on top of lies. And so this is when I knew I had them based off what they said and how they said it in their statement. See, they could fool everybody else, but between me and Target, we know the motherfucking truth. And everybody at T1372 know the motherfucking truth on Nicole and Kaylee, Nicole and Isabella, that these bitches were all involved in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? These niggas lied. That's the thing that get me is that they lied. And so when I read about punitive damages, I was like, wow, this entitles me to punitive damages alone just because of that one lie right there. These niggas said that they didn't know that one of my team members on the AP team, they claimed that they didn't know that she was involved in a relationship with another Salesforce associate at the same store. When everybody at that store knew, including upper management, that they were involved in an open relationship. And there's history to back that up. So had the EOC dug a little deeper and actually investigated some shit, they would have found that out easily. They would have found that out easily. But they didn't, and it's cool. So they lied about not knowing. And that right there told me everything that I needed to know from why I started this in the first place. That they lie. They will never hold themselves accountable. They like to hold us hourly associates accountable for the things that we do, but when it's time for them, they'll lie. They'll cover it up any way they can because they got so much money. They will do it at all costs. So I said, fuck it. You know what? I done got this far. Let's take it a step further. Let's see what we can get from this. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to make an impact. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the reason why shit changed. Because in AP, like, you know, I done caught enough shoplifters. I done enough cases. Like, after a while, that shit got boring. So now, how do I elevate as an AP? I dig into the workplace and I attempt to try to change the rules and the way that people are treated in the workplace, so that way it's easier for the people that's coming up from behind me, so they don't have to go through the same shit that I'm going through. So I said, "Fuck it, let's take it a little bit deeper." And so I'm hitting them. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a lawyer, so I wasn't gonna win it legally. But when I got the vision to do this, there was no legal, win for me at the end. I didn't see that. I always saw it as, okay, we're gonna fight through the courts, but at the end, I'm not gonna win this legally. See, the only reason why I even went that route is so that way I could get this shit documented. Because one thing that I've learned in this AP shit and being on the other side of the ball is that it's not what you say, it's more of what you could prove. So I only went the legal route so I can get this in black and white. Because now they got to stick to that lie for life. If they say anything outside of what they wrote or told the EOC, it makes them look like a liar, which they are liars. Anybody at T1372 will tell you that these bitches was fucking and that the whole store knew about it. Anybody that tell you different is a liar, period. So my right to sue letter ended up expiring in April, I believe, of 2021. And so I think in the same month or a month after that right to sue letter expired, they came out with that statement that they were investing $2.6 billion into 500 black-owned companies for the next 5 years. The next 5 years. Now, I find it funny that they would invest that much. First of all, second of all, nobody else followed that shit. You know how Target and Walmart they bite off of each other, to gain profit. You know what I'm saying? These stores always do that shit, biting off of each other just so they can get profit. So, for example, like when Walmart came out with the Walmart to go shit, all these other companies stood back and watched to see how profitable it would be. And once they seen that Walmart was making a lot of money off that shit, everybody else followed suit. Now you got drive up. You know what I'm saying? You can drive up and pick your shit up, or you can have them delivered to you. So that's the shit that I'm talking about. So nobody else followed that same shit. But everybody cares so much. Why didn't everybody else chip in on this little investment? Because it's a publicity stunt. It's a publicity stunt at its finest. They trying to take the credit for the work that they didn't put in. They didn't just have an epiphany one day. They didn't just get up and was like, all right, look, you know what? I feel I got my guilty conscience is messing with me. I feel like it's time for a change. That's not what happened. What happened is that on a federal level, they got to make it look good. They got to make it look good because to give you some backstory on that is prior to me getting hired on with Target, that same year I got hired on with Target, Target settled out $3.5 million with the ELC for race discrimination, or no, discrimination during the hiring process. Settled out $3.5 million. And so what comes with that settlement, they gotta follow some additional rules for the next, you know, couple years or whatever. So for them to already be paying out $3.5 million in 2018 for discrimination during the hiring process, and then you mean to tell me a year later y'all done got into some more shit, and now you got another claim of race discrimination? It doesn't look good on Target as a corporation, as a business. It does not make them look good at all. So if I'm putting the shoe on the other foot and I am the one who's running that company, and I know we just got into some shit with the ELC on a federal level, I know we can't afford that shit again. And it's gonna make us look bad. And our stocks might go down. They will go down. You feel what I'm saying? So they chose to fight me, which is cool. But like I said, the only reason why I went the legal route is because I wanted this shit in black and white. It's not what you can say, it's what you can prove. So now I can prove everything that I'm saying. So now the ball is back on my court, and now I can pretty much do what I want to with this. Everything's documented. I got all 7 pages of lies. See, when people lie, people don't tell you the full story. And when I say the full story, they don't never tell you what they did wrong. It's always what the other party did wrong. They always point the finger. If you don't hear no accountability when people are telling you what happened, you got to take that shit with a grain of salt. Because the shit go both ways. It takes two to tangle. It takes two to tangle. And that's pretty much what they did in all 7 pages. Mr. Miller did this. Mr. Miller did that. Mr. Miller knew he wasn't supposed to do this. Mr. Miller signed this and not acknowledging that he, wasn't supposed to do this. It was just filthy. They tried to they was throwing schmut on my name. You feel what I'm saying? That's exactly what they was doing in all 7 pages of that report. But it's kudo. I didn't expect nothing less from them. You know what I mean? I already knew exactly what the fuck they was gonna do, how they was gonna do, because they trained me on how to do this shit. They've been training me all these years to do this shit. What made them think I wasn't gonna use this shit that they was teaching me against them? The same shit they was teaching me to use against shoplifters, I used against them, and they didn't like it. And once they finally caught on, it was too late. It was too late. Because first I hit them with the motherfucking unemployment, you know what I mean, just to make it seem like, oh, I just want unemployment and I'm gonna go about my merry little way. No, that was a diversion too. Make them think I want unemployment, right? Get that, everything's cool. No. So I hit them with the diversion, unemployment, right? Boom. And then I come back with a haymaker with that EOC claim on a federal level. Fuck your little policy and the local laws. We talking about federal level now. So on the federal level, they already had got into some shit. So it wouldn't look good a year later. They ain't got into some more shit. A pattern. And when you can show a pattern of the same behavior, it usually means that motherfucker is guilty. So when it come down to it, um, it feels good to set these motherfuckers up. It feels real good to set them up. Because all these years as an hourly associate, they always coming down on us, always talking bad about us, always retaliating against us, creating a hostile environment, harassing us to get things done and do this and do that. Come in on my day off, call me off the clock, all this stupid shit. Who's gonna hold these motherfuckers accountable? It was time, and I did this because I wanted to learn more about how to defend ourselves in the workplace by using the EOC, these federal laws, these policies. And that's why I tell y'all to do that book work. Knowledge is power. So if you dig into this book work, you know the policies inside out, you know the federal law, I promise you, you're going to do damage. When God gave me the vision to do this, I promise you, it was a no-brainer. I was like, let's do it. Because I knew at the end, and we going into COVID at this point, so I don't know when COVID gonna be over. I don't know where my next dollar gonna come from. I don't know how I'm gonna make it tomorrow. I don't know, but I didn't give a fuck. I just knew I had to do this. I had to stand up to this corporation for all the times they ever did me and my coworkers wrong, and the people that they still doing wrong, because they've been getting away with it for so long that they become clumsy with the shit. They become messy. And once they keep getting away with it and not being held accountable, they get real sloppy with it. And that's where I caught them slipping. They got real sloppy with they shit. They thought all because they wasn't getting held accountable and shit like that that nobody else wasn't gonna do it again until they ran into me, a true AP. I promise you. See, they bank on not knowing. So whatever you don't know, they're gonna use against you. So I played like I didn't know shit. I played like the nigga that was uneducated, didn't have a high school diploma, none of that. I played dumb, like I didn't know shit. But the whole time, I was just gaining knowledge, observing, getting all these secrets. So when the time came, I was going to use all of that against them. Because if they can just get rid of people, good workers, good employees, for no reason, because they don't like somebody, or because they abusing their power, they can't keep getting away with it. So I set them up, and like I said, we was going into COVID. I don't know where my next dollar gonna come from. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I just know I got to do this because at the end of the day, What I do know is going to help the people coming from behind me. And it did. With that $2.6 billion impact, it created more leadership roles in the workplace. Now, what I do want to know is if it spread it out nationally, because I know here in Colorado, when I go into a Target store, it is more diverse. And I'm not talking about the urban areas. I go to the stores where I know there wouldn't be no niggas in there. Yeah, those are the stores that I'm talking about. So when I go in them stores now, guess what I see? Niggas. When I go back to the store that I worked at, where I was the only nigga there, guess what I see? Niggas. So they can't tell me shit. I know this is my work. This got my name all over it. Um, they want to take the credibility for it, but um, it's not gonna happen. I mean, they gonna pay for it. They gonna pay for that lie. That's a $2.6 billion lie. See how much they paid just to protect that lie? And that's just the investment. We're not talking about how much they paid the lawyer. You feel me? But with that being said, like, we got to protect ourselves in the workplace. We got to start using these policies to our full advantage. We have to start using these federal laws to our full advantage, because what they don't want you to do is to fight against them. That's what they don't want you to do. What they don't want you to know is how to use the EOC. They don't want you to know the definitions of all these things in the federal laws that these motherfuckers are breaking on a daily basis. Whether it's handicap, somebody being pregnant, whether it has to do with gender, race, religion, they're breaking some type of policy. I promise you. And it's not what you can say, it's what you can prove. So, um, man, brush up on your laws, brush up on your policies. And if you are being wrong, like if you are being treated unfairly in the workplace, what I would do is I would document every time you have been treated unfairly in the workplace, because all that shit is going to add up. If you could show a pattern of the same behavior, if you could show that you went to HR, complained about it, HR still ain't done nothing, document that shit every single time and let your lawyer, if you got your lawyer, let your lawyer do the rest. It's going to help your lawyer out. But either way, it's going to help you out if you got it. Document everything that happens in the workplace, everything that you see, because if the time comes when they come for you, you'll have ammo to work with. You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't give a damn anyway, you might as well help the man that's coming behind you. So it's time for us to step up. It's time for us to fight back. It's time for us to use these policies, these laws to our full advantage. We got to change the workplace. We can't keep complaining about how fucked up the workplace is, but ain't willing to put in the work to make a change. When I go into Targets now and I see a more diverse Target, man, I promise you, I get goosebumps because I know that's my work. I know that's my work. You know what I mean? You just know your work. You know your work. There's a certain way that you do your work. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just me. I know my work. My work, that shit paid off. That shit helped everybody. Helped people get leadership roles that we wasn't ever gonna get. Ever gonna get. You feel me? So, um, I thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Y'all been rolling with me for a minute now. Thank you for the support, watching the videos. Y'all be safe out there. All my APs out there, happy hunting. It's your motherfucking boy, Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.